Among the most fascinating types of phenomena investigated by psychic researchers are spontaneous cases. Spontaneous cases are those psychic experiences that take place in a person's everyday life. Out-of-body experiences, dreams of the future that come true, ghost experiences. For me, the most fascinating of all are spectral phenomena, what people refer to as ghosts. To the parapsychologist, ghostly phenomena are really classified as three different types of things. The first are apparitional phenomena, the second are hauntings, and the third are called poltergeists. An apparition is a sensory experience. Seeing a ghost, for example, seeing something visually that isn't physically present at the time.
Uncle Bob, is that you? Mom!
Now, there's no general consensus as to whether these things have some physical basis, whether they actually appear in space, or whether they're seen here in the mind's eye of a person who has psychic sensitivity. But the person has a visual experience or other sensory experience. They may hear a voice, they may feel a touch, they may smell a familiar perfume, say of someone who's died, or Uncle Bob's pipe tobacco, for example. But most apparitional experiences are visual. They see a visual image. Apparitions are generally described as looking exactly like normal human beings. They generally are not transparent. They're described as looking perfectly solid, being in full color. They are usually indistinguishable from normal human beings until they disappear suddenly or walk through a wall. In fact, it's quite possible that some of us may have seen apparitions at one time or another and not even known it, because we wouldn't be able to distinguish them from a human being under most circumstances. Apparitions can be of living people or they can be of dead people. Most apparitions are of people who recently died, people that we know and are close to us, friends or relatives. Other apparitions are apparitions of living people who may be having an out-of-body experience. For example, a person may be dreaming that they're visiting a friend, and at the same time the friend sees them appear as a ghostly form or an apparition. That would be considered an apparition of a living person. But also animals are seen as apparitions: dogs, cats, family pets, and even inanimate objects, furniture, horses and carriages, airplanes. I even have a ghostly car in my files. So apparitions are not just limited to human beings. The haunting is a type of recording of a past event. We've all heard of a haunted house, but in fact any place can be haunted. A stretch of road, a patch of woods.
Look out, Jan, somebody's in the middle of the road.
What's she doing in the middle of the road? I don't believe what I just saw.
Apparitions seen in a haunting are different from those seen under other circumstances. Haunting apparitions seem to be somnambulistic. In other words, they act like sleepwalkers. They don't pay attention to other people that are observing them. They seem to engage in some type of a brief behavior, such as walking up and down a hallway repeatedly, and the same exact behavior over and over again is repeated. It's as if you're watching a videotape clip or a videotape loop of some event that took place in the past. And parapsychologists believe that hauntings generally are a type of recording or residue of events that took place in the past. Often very powerfully emotionally charged events like murders and suicide, but not always. Many times it seems to be very mundane events that are recorded in this way. The final classification of our spontaneous cases is the poltergeist. In many ways, this is the most interesting. The poltergeist is an old German word. It means noisy ghost or rattling spirit. And a poltergeist is just that. It creates a lot of noise. It's much more dynamic than the haunting, whereas the haunting may involve sounds such as human voices or the sound of footsteps. Poltergeist may produce loud percussive sounds, raps, bangs, even explosions that vibrate the entire house. And whereas a haunting may go on for decades or even centuries, a poltergeist tends to burn itself out pretty rapidly, very rarely lasting more than 6 months. The average is about 3 months for a poltergeist infestation. And the most important difference is, whereas a haunting is focused around a particular place, the poltergeist is focused around a specific person.